It's time for another episode of the Franchise Business Radio Show, broadcasting live from the Pro Business Channel studios in Atlanta. Sponsored by Franchise Intellect, a full-service franchise consulting and development firm. More info at franchiseintellect.com. Also made possible in part by Social Joey, the social media experts that provide a hyper-local presence for your franchise. More info at socialjoey.com. And now, here's your host, Pam Curry.
Well, hello. This is Pamela Curry, the host of Franchise Business Radio. And Franchise Business Radio is a platform for bringing together franchise professionals and resources to connect, educate, and collaborate to serve the franchise community and franchise consumer. Well, I think that pretty much covers everybody, right? We're going to have a great show today. I mean, we're going to kind of look at things from two sides. We're going to take a look at one side, which is the franchisor side, and we have a guest in the studio that is here to represent Discovery Point, and I am going to go around to do introductions. And then we're going to go to the other side, which is marketing and communications. So for our listeners out there, get your pen and paper out because I think you'll get some nice learning tips. But let's go around and see who's in the studio. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, tell our listeners, give us your name and who you're with and exactly your title with them.
My name is Andrea Moore. I am Executive Director of Operations and Training at Discovery Point Franchising. And our franchising part supports all of our individual franchise owners. So as soon as someone signs up to be a new owner in childcare, they get me. And I walk them through the process. I do all of the training with my team. I have a great team that stands right behind me. Every part of ownership until I say, okay, you're a big bird, go fly. You can do it now on your own. So it's very, very exciting. So many different kinds of people coming into the industry. And then what we do is childcare. So I get to do the whole education end, the child development, and that truly was my background. So I kind of came into the business from the back door.
No, absolutely. And by the way, I have a heart for education and training. I like yourself, I do professional development and training as well. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more because very, very important aspect in the franchise world, right? Absolutely. Also in the studio, we're going with the A theme. Amy.
Yes.
Who are you?
I am Amy Rosenberg. I'm Director of KQ Communications here in Atlanta. We're actually based out of Memphis, but we just opened up an office here in Atlanta about a year ago, and we work a lot with nonprofits and small businesses, franchisees, to really market and promote what they are doing to better communities in our cities.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna kick things off with an interview to learn a little bit more about that. But before we do that, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Social Joey, our sponsor and promoter for Franchise Business Radio. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Yes, glad to be here, and good morning to everybody. Excited to chat with everyone.
Absolutely.
He always brings his own applause.
That's right. Yeah, I bring a whole people just to clap for me when I talk.
Can you keep those people a little quiet? Your peeps,
Right. You got quite the fan club out there. To join the Social Joey fan club, how would they get in touch with you, Mike?
Yeah. Just call me on my phone, 423-584-1544. So.
Excellent. Well, Amy, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and get things kicked off with you. You already mentioned that KQ Communications is actually headquartered in Memphis. And you were just sharing with me earlier that you were a former TV journalist and in the PR field for 10 to 12 years.
Right.
And actually taught broadcasting for 4 years. And we're fortunate enough just to have you move to Atlanta from Memphis. And currently you are the director of KQ Communication Office here in Atlanta.
Exactly. That's me in a nutshell.
Wow. Pretty impressive. So let's kind of kick it off with, who is KQ Communications?
Sure. Well, we are a full-service marketing public relations, and graphic design firm. So we are a one-stop shop for absolutely everything you need for branding your business, doing crisis communications, whether it's a nonprofit that just needs to boost visibility or somebody who just wants a really awesome logo. We kind of cover everything, and we really look at marketing communications, not just sales, but we look at the full service marketing communications and public relations and how it all helps to boost someone's brand, business, organization, or person. Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, you already kind of mentioned one industry, which is nonprofit. What other industries do you serve?
We actually are kind of unique. We work specifically in nonprofits, small businesses, education organizations, government agencies, a lot of places that PR firms don't necessarily love to operate in. So we but it's our area and we absolutely love it. We look for organizations and people who are giving back and doing good things in the community, and we align ourselves with those as much as possible.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And I know, Mike, I know you can relate to this because it's kind of in your wheelhouse as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And she speaks the truth when she says no PR firms want to be in that, but it is really great when you find a company who loves that and that's their passion, because it is unique to find that.
So what made you expand to the Atlanta market?
That's actually, it's kind of funny because we have been really solid in Memphis. We've loved working in Memphis. A bunch of our folks are diehard Memphians, and they will be forever and ever. So KQ was born there, and but we just got to the point where we were like, what else can we do? Where else can we go? And we started looking at different markets. We looked at Nashville, we looked at Little Rock, and we started noticing that, we have a couple of people that we already know in Atlanta. We should probably just check out that market. And honestly, in the very beginning, when my boss said, hey, we're going to check on Atlanta, let's see if some of you senior account executives are interested. And I was like, no, not me. You can pick somebody else. I've lived in big cities. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to do it. And a couple of other people weren't as, they had family things, and it just wasn't going to work out for them. So I said, all right, well, fine, I'll look, I'll just see. And I fell in love on the first trip. So,
great.
But we recognized in the very first couple of visits here that this was the next city for us. And it mirrors a lot of what we have in Memphis, but it allows us a really strong foothold here because we can really carve out a unique niche that just doesn't exist here already. And everyone is so nice. Can somebody please tell me what is going on with this? I mean, honestly, I keep waiting for my new to wear off and for somebody to be like, oh, she's been here a year. She's all right. You can be real now. But
you don't have to be nice to her anymore.
No, but it hasn't happened. Everyone is so incredibly gracious and friendly, and the business community has been super welcoming. So we've loved it, and we know we knew right in the beginning, and we know now that this is exactly where we needed to be. So
I think the nice factor comes in because it's such a melting pot.
It is.
Right? And so we've all kind of walked in the shoes of being new to the big city. So
I've heard
that's
that a
my 2
lot.
cents.
Actually, a lot of people say that it's because it's a city of transplants, and it really is. It is just everybody's here.
But we do have one native, and so
That's
we'll
true.
we'll get her perspective on that later, right?
Right.
Okay. So with KQ Communications, what really sets you apart from other PR and marketing firms?
I think aside from the fact that we are, working in some of those industry areas that a lot of firms aren't, I think it's also just that we work really hard to do research, and we look at our marketing communications from a research base, and then we build a strategy around it. So we're not just going to say, hey, you should put up a billboard because it'll give you great exposure. I'm going to make sure that billboard has some sort of research base, like, it's in a community where you're going to have a really strong presence, and somebody is actually going to act when they look at your billboard. But I won't tell you to put a ton of money into something if I can't really give you research-based findings that say this is a good idea for you. So I think that's something that kind of sets us apart, and we really look at that as an important piece.
I would agree. Thank you for putting together a strategy. As a matter of fact, I was literally just having this conversation with a fellow consultant, and it's so easy to find people that are saying, yeah, just write me a check and we'll market you. And it's another thing to find someone who's going to come in and say, you know what? let's put together a strategy and then implement it.
Absolutely.
And then I'll take your money and it will be used well.
Right. And then with that strategy, it's also looking back at the research and seeing, well, we've implemented it. Now, have we actually met our goals? Have we moved the needle at all? So we always go back and we look at as many types of evaluative measures as we can to say, did we actually reach our goals? And if we didn't, what can we be doing differently? So,
isn't it funny? That seems to be such common sense, but it's amazing how so many people they leapfrog what should be the basics and common sense: a strategy, plan to implement, and some kind of measurable ways to benchmark things. Makes it so. Let's take a look at these businesses that are out there. Get your pen and paper out right now because we're going to get some tips around PR and marketing. What should businesses be doing differently to better market themselves?
I think some of it we just did. It's research. It's finding out what it is that you really need to be doing, who's your market, who are you really supposed to be talking to, and social media. I mean, it's one of those things that I was just talking with a business the other day, and he was like, oh, Facebook, I don't know. I mean, that's not really our thing, and I don't have time to update it and everything else. And I'm thinking, this is free advertising. This is something that you have right at your fingertips.
Yes.
So if you have any marketing dollars, put them towards somebody who can help you leverage that social media community because it's huge. And right now, I mean, there are 2 billion people on Facebook, and that is growing constantly. And no matter what anybody says, we know that Facebook is, for the most part, kind of for old people. We've done the research. We know this. But and Instagram is for young people. But the truth is that there are honestly young millennials. All of these folks are still on Facebook. And it's an incredible platform to get your message out there. So social media is huge for businesses, and it's a matter of being really strategic about it, though. It's not just constantly posting. It's making sense of what you're posting.
Making sense of it. And so especially when you look at small to medium-sized companies, they don't have the resources to have that kind of talent in-house, right? So why not outsource that?
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to, on the social media play, Social Joey, any tips?
What
you
a
want
coincidence.
Yeah, what a
Right,
coincidence.
who knew?
Any little tips you'd like to give to those that are listening?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think she's right on point. It's about looking at what you're doing and is it working? One of the things we always talk about is, is your posting, if you're not measuring whether that's providing a return of some kind, you need to look at your voicing. You need to look at your ad strategy. You need to look at, when you're posting, where you're posting. Is your audience actually on the network you're posting to? I mean, I just think there's so many things that people just say, oh, well, it's Facebook. Well, as she said, there's 2 billion people. Yeah. How do you segment 2 billion people down to the people that are actually going to use your product? And I think for you guys, that becomes even more important, right? Because you're in the nonprofit space. So your budgets aren't what some of these gigantic companies are, or the majority of their budget is meant to go back to the community. And I think that becomes really important when you talk about ROI and research in the nonprofit space or not-for-profit spaces. Their budgets aren't unlimited like some of these other companies. And you've really got to make sure when you put marketing dollars behind something, it's providing true return, because at the heart of their business is not, let me grow my business super huge. It's let me turn the cause or the community function that I'm doing into the huge thing, not me. And so I think that just becomes overwhelmingly important, is that measuring of ROI and what you're doing and is it actually becoming effective. So
Absolutely. Well said. And I guess we're kind of getting to the same point, which is, why do businesses need PR?
And I think that's something that truly a lot of, I mean, I've heard it so very often. Oh, I can write a press release. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's not just about being able to write a press release. That's not PR. PR is everything from developing your personal and public persona and making sure that you have strong key messages that when somebody does ask you about your business, you know what you're saying. If you are, in fact, faced with some sort of a crisis, no matter what that crisis is, are you prepared to handle it? And it doesn't cost $1 bazillion to have a PR strategy, but every business, for the most part, needs one. Because ultimately you'll end up in a position where you need to either defend your business or you need to just promote it. And PR is so essential. Bill Gates even said, if I was down to my last dollar, the one thing I would invest in is public relations. And that's just because it's that important.
That makes sense.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, to go along with that, you talk about like crisis moments and things like that. But even when things are going well, I think a lot of businesses, get there and they're like, oh man, I need a PR firm. Well, it's too late at that point. Right. You're already there and you've got to figure it out because, it's going to take you guys some time to learn their business, know what their messaging is, know what their voicing is. And, when you hit that crisis moment or even that, hey, I just got an awesome interview on, some huge show or something, it's too late at that point to begin planning. And it's something that needs to be implemented early on because it really is a strategy for the heart and soul of your business. And that's where you guys provide, a ton of value and people overlook that a lot and they never should.
And it's also about the follow-up because you can have one of those moments where we worked with somebody who had this thing happen. They went viral in a positive way, and it just went crazy, and they didn't really act on it. They didn't follow up on it. So in 3 months, it was gone.
Yes.
But if you had been able to really implement some sort of a strategy around it and talk about what can we do to really leverage this exposure and give it some sort of life and momentum, then they would still be coasting on it. But at this point, it's gone. And they're on to the next meme.
Yeah.
Very true.
That, very well said. So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, Amy, how would they go about doing that?
So probably the best way, you can learn a little bit about us at our website, KQCommunications.com. with an S.com, kqcommunications.com. That's probably the best spot. We have bios on there about all of our team, and we have an incredible team, all the way from our president and vice president down to me and our awesome office assistants, and everyone else in our team is just fantastic. And that's really what makes up KQ Communications is our awesome team. That's our secret sauce.
Secret sauce. I love it. And do you want to hand out a phone number or just recommend?
Sure, absolutely. Probably the best number to call here in Atlanta is 844-839-6100.
Excellent. Yeah. So enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you.
And,
thanks for having me.
And I know my listeners, they appreciate it too. Great tips. Well, we have another great guest who probably could really use your services, but I don't know. I'll let her, but her expertise falls in a different area, and that is Andrea Moore. Andrea, I just want to share a little bit about you. You shared a little bit about your background, specifically in education and training, and what your role is with the franchisees. But you are with Discovery Point Child Development Centers, and you are the Executive Director of Operations and Training. Well, let me I always like to, let's kind of start broad and then go in. Give us some information about Discovery Point. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I was chuckling a little bit at all of these transplants because not only am I a Georgia native, but Cliff Clark and his wife Diane were Georgia natives. We are a Southern company through and through. Cliff and Diane founded the first Discovery Point in Snellville, Georgia in 1988.
Okay.
So we're about to have our 30th anniversary.
Congratulations. We need applause on that one, Rich.
Yeah.
That's great.
We now have 47 franchise locations in the Southeast. Most are still based in Georgia, but we're also very strong in the Tampa, Florida market. Our newest center is in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then we also have an owner in Tennessee.
Congratulations. So you primarily, majority of your units are in the Southeast, it sounds like.
They are.
And you say you're a native, and we can tell by your accent.
Just a tad. Just a tad.
Southern charm. I absolutely love it. So let's talk about the opportunities for franchising in the child care space. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a very unique opportunity because it's very community-driven, it's very family-driven, but even our model is that our owners need to be on site. So it's not a business opportunity that you buy into and walk away. You can expect to get to know your families, to make a difference in the lives of these children. Some of our owners have up to 250 kids, and they know and greet them each and every morning. It's not mandatory that our owners drive the school bus to pick up at their local schools, but we do have quite a few owners that love doing it. And then once they get their management teams in place and the owners don't have to be as active, they still want to be. It's very much a make a difference in your community kind of business.
And what are the ages of the children?
We start our child care at 6 weeks old, and we go up to 12 years old, offering summer camp and before and after school programs.
And there's actually, I didn't realize, there's a pickup that goes along with it. The parents don't drop their kids off at the center, at the development center.
For our young ones, we do.
Okay.
The only pickup that we would have are picking up those school agers at their local school.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, obviously this is a huge need. I mean, there's a lot of dual income families out there. The mother's working, the father's working.
Absolutely.
So definitely a great need. What are the differences between various industries within childcare?
You've got tutoring kind of centers.
Yep. Okay.
You have Mother's Morning Out kind of programs. Those are usually nonprofit or run through a religious organization. We are educational care. So what we're doing is starting with developmental standards, even with the teeny tiny babies, a very strong curriculum, set lesson plans that the teachers adapt and work with and individualize for each and every child. And then we really pride ourselves on building family partnerships, which means we want to hear from the parents. We need immediate feedback. So if your child is going through potty training, we want to know how you're doing it at home. And that becomes our number one, to focus on meeting family needs. What are your dietary restrictions? Even the child's preferences and their learning style. Is this a very visual learner? Do we need to adapt and meet, we may need some different kind of play equipment if I've got some kids that are showing that activity level.
Right. And I'm assuming also if they have allergies or special...
High alert. And trust me, these kids come with lots of forms and lots of documentation. Those lead teachers and then every management that works with that child has a special plan for emergency situations with allergies.
And so it's amazing how the detail in the customization for the individual plan for each child.
These are children, and we're going to take care of them as if they're our own.
I like it. So obviously a wonderful service. Let's kind of flip to the other side, which is, the business opportunity.
The business opportunity.
Yes. Talk to me about the business model.
The business model, like I mentioned, is owner on site.
Okay.
You usually have the owner. They'll employ a director, who's the next in line, and then an assistant director. Usually have a staff of anywhere from 18 to 25 people, depending on how many children you have.
Sure.
Our hours are 6:30 to 6:30. So a few centers vary just a little bit to meet the needs in their community. But it's an upfront franchise investment, and then you're buying the brand, you're buying monthly quality assurance support, you're buying all this business ops training that comes in on the front end. So $75,000 fee to get in the door and purchase the brand, and then from then we have ongoing royalties that pay for the ongoing support. It's about an all-in investment right around $3 million.
All investment around $3 million. And like the footprint, I don't know, can you give me an idea of the square footage of the footprint?
Our traditional unit runs about 10,000 square feet, but our newest one runs about 14,000 square feet. Okay. It's actually kind of an exciting time to get in as a new owner because they would be actually even part of those floor plans and the planning and development of it. Mm-hmm. This last one we did was so exciting. I know more about carpeting and flooring, but each decision was just so much fun that, our changing tables need to have this, so safety support around it.
Well, and you know what? And obviously this is one of the greatest advantages of franchising is that there are so many little details and nuances. So to go out and just try to do this on your own?
Very, very difficult. We're also even different in our competitors in that we call ours turnkey. Once you've paid your initial franchise fee, we take over the cost of the building. We take over the land development and all the permitting.
Wow.
We do that for our owners. And then that 6 to 12 months later, it's furnished, it's stocked, it's ready to go, and the owner comes to the closing table like you would close on your home, and we literally hand over the key to your building and to your business. Our owners do own their buildings and the property.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a real estate investment as well.
Absolutely. That's
awesome.
So
very nice.
kind of a two-for purchase that you're buying the business and the brand, and then you're also buying your real estate and your building.
So yeah, that is cool. Did you have a question?
No, yeah, I mean, I think just a couple things you've said that I think really stick out to me. Number one, as a new dad, to hear you talk about that, my wife and I looked and looked and looked, and I mean, new parents, our first baby. I mean, we looked at everything that existed in 50 miles around us. Where can we go? What can we do? And nobody had that level of care in our area. And that's just unbelievable to hear. And it's really cool because we're a dual income family. My wife works, I work.
Yeah.
We've got to have something. And so the level of expertise that you guys have, the individualized care, I mean, as a potential customer, right? I mean, that's so important. And that's a huge selling point, I think. I mean, that's unbelievable. And then the other thing, just talking about your owners, I mean, you see so many franchises that, the owners do, hey, I invested, I hired somebody, I'm out. To hear the kind of buy-in that it sounds like your owners have, I mean, that to me, I think speaks to probably you and your team getting those owners to buy in and the training that goes behind that and the brand buy-in, right? I mean, that is so huge, especially in I think something like this that's really relationship driven. I would think I would really want to know the people that are caring for my kids, and if that owner is there, that speaks volumes to me as a dad to say, no, the guy or the lady who's running this business is there. They know my child's name. They know my name. They know my wife. They're going above and beyond. That to me is just huge, especially in that space.
Yeah.
So
Agree. No, I agree. I mean, you are taking on the most the most important little being of a mother and father.
And we don't ever lose sight of that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I think a point that you brought up that I had not mentioned is as much and as strong as our brand is in the South, it's our owners that makes our franchise system a little bit different in that we allow our owners a lot of flexibility in bringing their own personality into the building and even their own focus. We have owners that have very much adopted their foster care community and even market themselves and let parents know that meeting the needs of a foster child is a little bit different, and that's a very much come and go kind of thing. That's hard for a business to supply the need for children who may be here this week and not here next week. So we've got owners that very much have invested their own lives in foster children and adoption, and that shows in their center. We have other owners that have become very farm to table, and the children grow gardens and they eat their own tomatoes.
That's so cool.
That is.
We have owners that have trained and hired staff that are educated in special needs. And that is a very hard space to fill as well. Those working parents, they have to have responsible and qualified care just like everybody else. So we have owners that truly have raised the whole level of education in their building to be able to meet the needs of these children. So very, very exciting. And that you were mentioning the social media. I can go on Facebook, I can go on Instagram, and each center is so unique and different. I can tell whose center it is without having to look at the title. I know,
huge.
Oh my goodness, that's Carmen's. Oh my goodness, that's Celine.
That's so cool.
So, I mean, I want to talk about two more things. One, industry trends, and then secondly, which your area of expertise is, which is the training side of things. What is taking place in the industry?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
That's a loaded one.
There is so much that's taking place. I think we mentioned it a little before we started, being aware of children's individual needs, the way they learn, what they eat, the family dynamic, too, is a little bit different. Our families are changing. While there is this need for childcare, I think the workplace is changing. And so the needs and even the timing of it is a little bit different. So it's not a traditional 9 to 5 days. Parents are on the clock all the time.
Yeah.
So being able to meet those parents' needs just for the timing, and then getting that feedback to the parents, like you mentioned with your new baby. We want our parents to have pictures of their baby all day long. So making use of that technology and going into the spaces to stay linked to our families is very, very important.
Are you focused on expanding even further outside of the Southeast?
Oh, absolutely we
Okay.
are. We are, and we're still the South, but we're headed to Texas, I think is next.
Wonderful.
But
Big Tex.
But we've got many states that we'd be happy to break ground, even some master agreements if we've got an owner that wants to come in and oversee multiple units. We do have that in our system.
All right, so that's available too. Okay, I just signed off on that franchise agreement. What now?
You get a team of people that will hold your hand every single step of the way. First of all, we sign you up for your state training, your state licensing. We'll go through that process for you. We have a small team of just 10 in our corporate office, but it's neat because you can get somebody on the phone, and our years of experience in childcare add up to a really wealth of knowledge.
Oh, after 30 years? Yes.
But when you break down that you've got 10 of us that have each reaching that 30-year mark, it's kind of scary.
Got a real multiplier in there.
We do. And then our traditional owner training that comes right before you open is you have a 40-hour week in-class intensive business operations, a little bit of HR support, how the day-to-day runs and the actual child care piece of it. Then we send you out with one of our mentor owners, and you stand side by side with somebody in your community in your same demographic. And then we recap with one final week in the classroom. So 4-week intensive training.
Wow, great program.
Then we have ongoing support. We have someone in every center's building once a month. And our quality assurance reps come to the door, and they've got their detailed checklist, but the first thing they do is check in with an owner and say, how can I serve you today? What do you need me to do from the corporate side? We're here to serve our owners.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, I guess from both sides, let's look at it from both sides, but specifically for the franchise opportunity, what should they do?
Our website, discoverypointfranchise.com.
And Discovery Point, POINT.
Yes.
.com.
.com. DiscoveryPoint.com will get you to the children enrollment side. DiscoveryPointFranchise.com will get you to my VP of Sales. His name is Spencer Reed, and he can hook you right up.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, really, I'm kind of speechless, honestly, because I know it's such an important service, and I almost want to say thank you, and I don't even have kids. Which is
we love what we do.
And congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't even realize that you had a new little boy, little girl.
Little girl, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. She's already got daddy wrapped, I can
Oh,
tell.
of course, no doubt.
Little thing. Well, I do want to just thank everyone here for being on the show. And I don't know, before we kind of move into a couple of other things, I do want to give some updates since our last show with Franchise Intellect and myself. But any updates with Social Joey to share?
Yeah, I think one of the cool things that we've been really pushing towards, and something we're really excited about, is we're expanding our platform that's going to incorporate some new features and things that we'll be rolling out over the next couple months. So can't really talk a lot about it yet, but in the next few shows we'll be able to talk a lot about that and giving some extra functionality to franchises that we've been being asked for. And as far as we understand it, we'll be the only company in the industry to be able to do it. We've worked out some exclusive partnersps with Google and some different things like that on some of their newer products they're getting ready to roll out. And so excited to see where that goes and what that looks like. So that's a pretty big one, and some new stuff coming along with Facebook that has been coming down the line for a while that we're excited about, and and LinkedIn's got a few small things in the works, but Facebook and Google really have some big things on the horizon that we can hopefully talk about in the next couple episodes.
Okay.
That'll be exciting specifically for franchises, and provide some really great in-house service for their franchisees and things. It'll be really cool. So so excited to talk a little bit about that. But yeah, so tell us about you. I know you've got some good things.
That was a teaser, by the way. So I'm just going to say, stay tuned.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, I think a lot of all the listeners out there know that I'm a franchise advisor, and that basically means that I'm constantly learning about what's going on in the industry, what new franchisors are out there. And I was fortunate enough that I recently just went to a convention. I know last time we had the show, you guys had just come off of a convention. Well, my turn, right? I actually just I just got back from Nashville literally this week, and it was a great convention. It was hosted by FranServe. There were over 100 franchisors there. A lot of different funding resources. So it's amazing what's out there in regards to franchise opportunities. I came back, like we all do from these types of conventions, with new ideas, fully revived. And, obviously, if anyone is considering franchise ownership, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I represent over 500 franchise brands, and I would be happy to help. I like to say I'm that conduit, right? The conduit between the franchisor and the prospective franchisee. And a great analogy is being a recruiter. So I do work and represent a couple of specific brands. And another big update with a particular brand that I'm working with is called Presence of Mind. Presence of Mind is a personalized gift store. We actually had Dave Deutsch on the show. What was it? It was a couple months ago.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a ground level emerging brand, actually headquartered in Helen, Georgia. And for those of you that are in franchising, it's hard. It's hard to get a new brand and concept off the ground. And we now have a store open in, I can never say this, Dunedin, Florida. In addition to that, we have a new franchisee in Asheville. Matter of fact, the founders are in Asheville, North Carolina, as we speak, looking for their site location there. And then the really great news going on with Presence of Mind, as far as opportunity goes, we are also going to be offering area representative master opportunities. Very, very excited about that. And that we might need a round of applause for that one.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, they were a big hit in the show, and their photos still up on the site, and it was very unique.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah,
and they're up in Helen.
Yep, that is where the corporate. That's where they were founded. Their first store was not Helen. I'm sorry, Blue Ridge.
Oh,
yeah, Blue Ridge.
I was
Georgia.
excited about Helen. I thought we were going to do it for Oktoberfest party. Whatever.
I stand. Maybe that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Well, Blue Ridge, they do the Christmas train or whatever. Yeah, so we'll all hop on the Presence of Mind train. Yeah,
even better. But yes, Presence of Mind is headquartered. It's Blue Ridge, Georgia. That's their original founding store, and it is a personalized gift store, and it really has high quality products. And you're right. Go take a look at the show from several months ago, and you'll really be able to get a good understanding of Presence of Mind. And then I also want to do a shout out to Lauren Fernandez, because as you know, Lauren was on the show last month, and she had her chicken salad chick grand opening.
Did you hear about that? You tried that?
Oh,
that's some
it is
serious
so
good chicken salad. Yeah.
And
I thought she was going to be here every show.
I wish.
Chicken salad for breakfast. I've never had it, but it's the best ever.
Oh my gosh, I wish.
Until then, yeah.
Until then. But you know what? She just had her grand opening. It was right after
right
the show
Buckhead.
in Buckhead. I decided to swing by, line out the door.
That's awesome.
So I just wanted to say congratulations to her.
Yeah, don't plan on any leftovers because they never have anything left over.
No, they don't. And you know what? I'm really excited. I didn't realize this because, as you know, I split my time between Atlanta and Charleston, and they actually have stores in Charleston as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of my friends said, she goes, my son makes me take him there a couple times a week.
So when's your whiskey franchise? When are they coming in? Yeah.
It always comes back to that.
Well, great show this morning, right?
Yeah, excellent. And I just wanted to just give those quick updates, what's taking place with Franchise Intellect, and a lot of good things happening in the franchise community with these grand openings of Presence of Mine, along with Chicken Salad Chick, and 30-year anniversaries with Discovery Point. I just think we're seeing so much growth and excitement in the franchise space, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it. It really is. Well, with that being said, if anyone does want to reach out to me, let me just go ahead and give my contact information. Phone number is 847-970-8765. Again, if you're considering franchise ownership, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. There's no cost, no obligation to you. My services are complimentary to individuals because naturally I'm compensated by the franchisor when I bring them that qualified franchisee. I'm that business matchmaker. So 847-970-8765. And you can also go to my website, www.franchiseintellect.com. Or if you want to shorten that, you could just go www.franintellect.com. But before we close down the show, I do want to just let's open it up for discussion. I saw you jotting down a lot of things over there, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, just a couple of
turning.
things. I was thinking about because we were talking about some industry updates and things like that. In the franchise space, a big thing coming up: franchise leadership and development will be here in Atlanta, and Shaquille O'Neal will be here. So that'll be pretty
by
cool.
the studio?
I don't know. I hope so.
We're gonna have to raise the roof.
Yeah, we may not be able to get him in here.
We'll have to raise the roof. Yeah.
But yeah, he's keynoting that, so that'll be pretty cool. And
Very
then
nice.
WFN is August 8th. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, August 8th. WFN is coming up, and then we've got the Springboard Conference, which is the emerging brands big conference that gets put on. I think that's Fisher Zucker and then Feischman put
is that here in Atlanta?
No, I think they're doing it in Philadelphia this year.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's a pretty good conference for emerging brands, and then one of the big things that's happening right now, IFA sent out the big email for speakers for the IFA conference 2018. So if anybody listening has any C-level executives that are going to fit a good spot for that, they're taking suggestions right now. They've got a thing up on franchise.org. You can go in, fill out, and recommend a speaker for a specific topic, be on a panel, any of those things. So that's a pretty big thing going on right now, and they've got some big announcements coming according to the email. So that'll be pretty cool as well. So
are you going to be attending that conference?
I think so. Yeah, I think we'll be there and should have a booth at that one. So that'll be fun. It's a great time and a great conference where, it's like the who's who of franchising, pretty much. So there's so many people there, but it's almost overwhelming. But yeah, it'll be fun. Should be a good show this year, and excited about that.
Where is that one?
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask that. I
Not
should
when,
have
but
down.
where?
It's
is it
somewhere
Atlanta, in the southeast?
No, it's I think Arizona this year. Is
Oh,
that
I
right?
think-
They try to take turns.
Pam, I think road trip for Franchise Business Radio. I
That's
think we
right.
need to do a pop-up studio there in Arizona, yeah.
We're
If there's
gonna
whiskey,
talk.
you know I'm there.
I
Our
know,
chicken
I
salad
know.
chick, yeah.
Yeah.
We may need a PR firm to help us with all the chaos we're going to create.
No, that is fabulous. Thank you for those industry updates. And just we said WFN, that is happening on August 8th. That stands for Women's Franchise Network. That is going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. Again, that's August 8th. IFA, if you're looking to learn about those speakers, that website is www.franchise.org. And obviously, they're really the voice of franchising. So you can learn a lot from going to that website as well.
I have a quick question if we're in the roundtable segment here. For Andrew with Discovery Point, we talk about pop-up studios and on-site and so forth and travel and events. Have you all ever thought about like a pop-up Discovery Center where if that franchisee is in that market and there's a huge event and people, need to bring their kids if they're traveling? Is that something that they could do on a on-site basis or?
It actually isn't.
Yeah, because there's tons of like legal compliance issues and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
and we really want to follow the rules.
whenever possible. Yeah, I always say in business it's good to be ethical whenever it works for you, or possible. Yeah. But no, I didn't think that through very well. Yeah, 'cause it's not. But that's what's very unique about your business is that a lot of businesses you're dealing in widgets and products, but yours is, very unique and
Human
different. I mean,
factor.
you're dealing with those, people, and it takes a certain skill set, right?
It absolutely does, and commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I've had family members in the hospital, and you look at somebody that has that nurturing effect, a nurse or that facility. I don't know how they do that on a everyday basis,
Right.
but it's definitely something that you find that right person that's passionate about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, should we do this? Let's go around the studio, and are there any other updates that anyone would like to share? Anything going on? Events?
Birth
updates?
announcements, yeah.
Yeah, birth announcements, birthdays, anniversaries. We got all of those.
We do have the Taste of Buckhead coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm on the board of the Buckhead Business Association, and we have the Taste of Buckhead September 14th. Tickets are on sale now, and it is going to be incredible.
Oh,
We actually were
good.
at the Chicken Salad Chick grand opening not too long ago. So, yeah, always
Did you
promoting
recruit
those
them to be
businesses.
there?
I'm not sure if they're going to be there. I have to look
Well,
back
shout
at the
out.
list. They
Yeah.
might, yeah. But some of the best
And
restaurants.
there's also some tastings
There will
involved,
be
right?
lots of whiskey.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah. Now you're talking my language.
It is at a whiskey distillery.
It's not that I have a drinking problem or anything. Yeah, but I do indulge some adult beverages. Yeah, but they
thanks
have
to
like a unique
ASW,
thing where
yeah.
you can kind of bring your own beverage or something, or donate, or
You can, they have a spirit wall, so you
Okay,
can
yeah.
donate a bottle, and
Yeah.
then all of the proceeds are going to Second Helpings Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
And it's a really phenomenal group. And then, of course, ASW Distillery. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong there.
Well, and it-
I'm just going. You said when is the Taste of Buckhead? I'm sorry, I missed
September
the date.
14th.
Okay, thank you. All right, September 14th.
that
Taste
is
of Buckhead.
a VIP, really high end event, and some really movers and shakers, and it's just great
Absolutely.
entertainment. We've done that on site the last 2 years. Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Wow, just a wealth of information. Just really appreciate everyone who's been on the take the time out, share with our listeners. Let's just go around, and if you wouldn't mind just sharing your name and your contact information for me. And Andrea.
Andrea Moore at discoverypoint.com. And then to invest, Spencer Reed at discoverypointfranchise.com, 888-249-8427.
Thank you. Great to have you on the show. And Amy.
Yeah, Amy Rosenberg. And probably the easiest way to get in touch with us is at our website, kqcommunications.com. But you can also give us a call at 844-839-6100. And my email is super easy, Amy at kqcommunications.com.
And we'll see you at the Taste of Buckhead.
Absolutely, we'll be there. Yeah.
So that email is super easy, Amy. At
It's Amy at. Yeah. We got real creative with those. Creative.
And Mike, Social Joey.
Yes, if you want to call us on our main line, it's 423-702-4667. If you want to join my fan club, 423-584-1544. That's my cell phone. And then just Mike at socialjoey.com, and obviously socialjoey.com for the website.
Excellent. And then again, this is Pamela Curry, the host of Franchise Business Radio, a platform for bringing together franchise professionals and resources to connect, educate, and collaborate to serve the franchise community and franchise consumer. Thank you. If you need to reach me, please just give me a holler at 847-970-8765. Be happy to help and advise any way that I can.
Holler out.
Holler out.
It's time for another episode of the Franchise Business Radio Show, broadcasting live from the Pro Business Channel studios in Atlanta. Sponsored by Franchise Intellect, a full-service franchise consulting and development firm. More info at franchiseintellect.com. Also made possible in part by Social Joey, the social media experts that provide a hyper-local presence for your franchise. More info at socialjoey.com. And now, here's your host, Pam Curry.